Oh my God, JMTV show number 95. Hey, GMTV audience, how you doing? It is show number 95. The interstate going through Connecticut, and that's the number of the show it is. I don't know. I didn't write any material for show 95. So, with no further ado, I'll bring my good friend Bill Noman on. Hey, Bill.
I also did write nothing for it.
You didn't write any jokes for show 95? What about Will Bear? Did you write any jokes?
I can work on them. 5 ways to take advantage of something on 95, like I did on.
That's the answer. Yeah. God, yeah. have you guys been doing in the brutal cold? I mean, today was a reprieve, but how are you holding up, Bill Noman?
Well, actually, there was really only one cold day. Like yesterday, it was in the 30s, and today it was almost in the 40s, and.
Yeah, okay, so up here, we have slightly different weather up here, right? So you get like that Long Island Sound mild crap going on. We get the Arctic blast coming down from, up the Catskills and the Adirondacks and whatnot in Canada. It's been like 3 degrees here, freezing cold, so.
Yeah, my daughter went up to Vermont and, it was like -4 or something like
crazy. Yeah. I talked to Vinny. Remember Vinny, the bass player Vinny from the Lime?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I was talking to him yesterday, and he sent me a picture. He's like, "I've been playing a lot of guitar. I've been hanging out. It's -20 degrees," wow. and he showed me a picture of his guitar amp with a rifle next to it, like a shotgun next to it. He's like, "This is Vermont living."
Come the apocalypse, right?
Welcome to the hillside.
That is the move. Yeah. So he's been. The problem is you can't really leave the house when it's that cold because pipes are freezing. There's ice on the. It's scary out there. So I'm happy out here hanging out while.
So how do you do with pipes on something that doesn't really have a foundation? You don't really have a foundation, right?
No. So basically, you have systems that keep you running. Remember, I lived on a boat for 19 years. Right. So you landlubbers, we take things like water for granted, we have a basement, the water goes in the basement, the poop goes in the basement, it goes out, but not so much when you live in a vehicle, when you live in a boat, or when you live in a camper. It's a very different kind of approach. And so what you do is you have things like heat tape, you heat tape lines that are going in, but then you got to worry about power failures. What happens if there's a power failure? And then, I remember being in my house in Weston, drafty old house, 80-year-old house. I had, every time it got really cold, like 0, all my faucets in the kitchen wouldn't flow, and so I've been dealing with this kind of stuff for years, and at least when you're in a boat or something like that, your water lines are made of plastic and rubber. They expand. Yeah. So you leave that. At least you don't have like a copper pipe that's going.
No, because the copper pipes were all stolen by your neighbors.
That's exactly it. The copper pipes are gone. But it's just been really cold. So cold that like the cats go out the cat door. You hear bloop, 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 and then you hear bloop, 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 bloop. They're back in. They have enough time to turn around before they freeze solid.
It was like the 2 cats go out and 4 cats come back in.
Yeah.
I remember my cat got onto the porch at one point in the wintertime, hacked his way through the screen. We left the door open or whatever, and so I come out and there's just this slice in the screen and no cat.
Oh boy!
And then I see the cat hunched in the ground directly below the doorway.
Going, how do I get back in? Right?
Like he jumped into the snow and just went like, cold, lost, stuck. Shit.
Yeah, that's a little scary.
Black lump, poor guy.
It's scary. It's cold. But, of course, I take care of a lot of stray cats. So I've got 5 of them now. I thought there were 7. With the real cold, one of them hasn't come back yet. I'm a little worried about him. But the rest of them are like, I made a heated cat house so that you have like a box and you have a hole and you have a bedding and insulation and whatnot. And I put a little electric fan in the top of it so that it kept it warm in there. And I figured they wouldn't know what it was, so I put the hole next to the food bowl so that they would go. So I have a video camera there, and every time they eat, my phone goes off and it shows me, and they're like looking bitterly at the heat. They're like, "What the hell is blowing out this door?" And then they're eating, and then they walk away like that's just not right. So they don't go in there. But anyway,
we talked about those, like the feral cats before. It's like, to them, they're not experiencing the cold like other people would.
Right.
It's winter. Right.
Yeah.
And if it's really cold, they stay under whatever their little den is, and they stay cuddled up, and that's it.
Yeah. They're smart. Unlike us. We're
like,
we just keep doing whatever we're doing.
I've got to go to the store to buy milk. My gloves are too thin.
That's funny. My fingers are really, really white.
Right.
I wonder why.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. So, all right, Bill Norman, why don't you play some music?
Okay, I will.
And we'll talk more after.
This is a song by Daniel Lanois. Jolie, how do you do? My name is Jean-Guy Thibault. I come from east of Gatineau. My name is Jean-Guy, ma jolie. J'ai une maison à la fontaine where we can live if you marry me. Une belle maison à la fontaine where we will live, you and me. Oh, Louise, ma jolie Louise, ma jolie Louise. Tous les matins au soleil, I will work till work is done. Tous les matins au soleil, I did work till work was done. And then one day, the foreman say, Jean-Guy, we must let you go. Et puis mon homme, il est pas bon at the mill anymore. Oh, Louise, I'm losing my head. I'm losing my head. My kids are small, 4 and 3. Et la bouteille, she's mon amie. I drink the rum till I can't see. It hides the shame Louise does not see. Carousel turns in my head, and I can't hide. No, 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 no. And the rage turns in my head, and Louise, I struck her down, down on the ground. I'm losing my mind. I'm losing my mind. En septembre 63, the kids are gone, and so is Louise. Ontario they did go, near la ville de Toronto. And now the tears, they roll down tous les jours. No, 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 no. And I remember the days and the promises that we made. Oh, Louise, ma jolie Louise, ma jolie Louise. I love songs about, spousal abuse. I didn't really say that, but that was a joke, people. But it's funny when you're talking about the cold. There's a couple of songs. There's one song in particular that Bob Dylan has called "The Ballad of Hollis Brown," and it's so desolate and stark, and it basically it's like they're living out in this cabin somewhere in the middle of nowhere. You just feel the cold. You just feel the desolation. You just feel like the lost hope. You feel everything. And then, he has one line and Hollis Brown is staring at the shotgun on the wall. And then, of course, 5 shots ring out. And, it's one of those kind of things. But it's just like, You know, the cold will do funny things to people.
Oh my God, I got my BB gun, so I might bring it out before the end of the show.
You know, you can put somebody's eye out with that. I can tell you.
That's right.
That's right. Yeah, it's all funny until somebody gets hurt. Yeah.
You're
And
not
they have
gonna
no.
hurt- You're going to kill them with a BB gun, but you can put their eye out.
They have no sense of humor around here. They have like this rule book for the association, like it's a homeowners association, but they're like really, really on everybody, and you have to have everything's got to be a certain way and whatever. And apparently you're not allowed to have a BB gun. So I guess I can own it in the house, but I can't shoot it anywhere around here. And we're in the middle of like 1 million acres of hunting lands, like, but you're not allowed to have it in the community. So I could walk to the edge of the community and like, shoot targets or whatever I do with that.
God,
That's all I've got is targets,
I mean, honestly, there's got to be a lot of people that have guns there, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
You
we're
would
talking about
think
the
so.
country,
I mean,
But
there's-
no, you're not allowed to fire anything in here, like a firecracker. $500 fine for a firecracker.
Wow.
They're-
My sister lives in Florida, and everybody there has guns. I mean,
There you go.
I did a
No.
background check for her on 3 of her neighbors, and I said, all of them have guns. And she
That's
said,
right.
Of course, everybody here has guns.
And I'm sure everybody here, they're here because they want to hunt in the, state game lands or whatever. And, but they have no sense of humor. Yesterday, I was like, I need to get out of here. So I got in my car, my Mini Cooper, right? Which is not great on the snow, but it's okay. And I decided we have 6 miles of roads around my community. Like inside the community, there's 6 miles of roads. So I was like, all right, I'm going to drive every last little stitch of road, and they're all dirt roads and snow covered, and I put a GoPro on the front of my car, right? And I shot like the GoPro video, like every little road, right? And when I came home, I sped it up 50 times. So I've got like, like cruising around in the woods here, right? So I post it on there's an unofficial page for the homeowners association called Say Anything You Want, right? And I'm like, okay, I'll say anything I want. So I posted this thing. I said, I got in my golf cart. You're not allowed to have golf carts, right? So I said, I'm getting in my golf cart. I got in with my GoPro, and I went 400 miles an hour, and I drove around the community. I swear to God, 6 people said, we're turning you in for speeding, that you're going way too fast. You look like you must be going 100 miles an hour, and you didn't stop at one stop sign. And I'm like, I was going 15 if I was going 15. It's time lapse. Like, they've never heard of time lapse out here. So,
Well, they haven't heard of it, but they're living it.
yeah, exactly. So I was like, and they were serious. They were like, you're going to get a fine. You're going to be hearing from the association. I was like, I took the video down. I'm like, really? Like,
Yeah.
they've never heard of time lapse. They literally thought I was going like an F-16 fighter jet through the area in my golf cart.
Yeah.
Say anything.
Say anything except the truth. We can't handle the truth,
Right.
Say
Yeah,
anything
that's
that
different.
we can't understand. Don't say that.
Don't say that. And
Well,
then I found myself saying, like, you realize that I was going 15 miles an hour and that I sped this up, the video. And then I was like, now I'm like mansplaining stuff to people.
Yeah, and just like arguing and pissing them off.
We're going to come to your house with our guns,
Yeah. You're not allowed to. Yeah.
Exactly.
There's certain, at the risk of sounding like a horse's ass here, there's certain aspects of, I love the woods, I love the country, I love the mountains, I love the desert, I love all of this. I don't always love the people you encounter there. It's like the people who live there. There's sometimes like somebody who like wouldn't have like the self-awareness that they're like,
Yeah, but you see, this is not.
up. How could you not know it's sped up?
No, but listen, this is not. These are not locals. This is like second homes. People come up for the weekend and whatnot. These are people from like New York City and Newark, New Jersey, where they come out to their little country getaway out here. So this is not the locals. The locals are probably like, they're out shooting their guns.
The locals might actually be looking at it being entertained. They might say, like, this is pretty cool. It's the other people who are like overthinking the frigging thing a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. All right, play another song.
All right, so this is a song that has a roundabout kind of dedication to Ed Train a little bit, because there's no band that writes, there's no guy that writes better, historical stuff than Robbie Robertson of the band. He writes a lot of great stuff, and this is a song about the Acadians who French who settled up in, Nova Scotia,
I know all about those guys.
New Brunswick, Prince Edward Island, and most of Maine, all of that. So
Right.
somewhere in the 1700s, early 1700s, the Brits got hold of the land, and by 1755 they started expulsing everyone. Like they were, and the ones
Yep.
that sort of they were sent literally to the Caribbean. They were sent, they were sent places like they had no reason to be, and the other ones sort of made their way down to Louisiana, and they became the Cajuns, So
Lafayette, Louisiana, absolutely.
And they became that. So this is a great song that Robbie Robertson wrote called Acadian Driftwood, and it's a fabulous analogy. Acadian driftwood, it's like human driftwood that's just sort of cast out and then settles in Louisiana.
Very cool.
And who knows if I can do this, but we'll see. The war was over and the spirit was broken. The hills were smoking as the men withdrew. We stood on the hills and watched the ships slowly sink into their rendezvous. We signed the treaty and our homes were taken. Loved ones forsaken, they didn't give a damn. Try to raise a family, end up the enemy over what went down on the plains of Abraham. Acadian driftwood, gypsy tailwind, they call this home the land of snow. Acadian cold front moving in. What a lovely way, what a way to go. Then some return to the motherland. The high command had them cast away, and some stayed on to finish what they started. They never parted, they're just built that way. We had kin living south of the border. They're a little older and they've been around. They wrote in a letter, oh, life's so much better. So pull up your stakes, children, and come on down. Acadian driftwood, gypsy tailwind, they call my home the land of snow. Canadian cold front moving in. What a lovely way, what a way to go. $15 under zero when the day became a threat. My clothes were wet, I was drenched to the bone. Been out ice fishing, too much repetition make a man wanna leave the only home he's known. Sailed out of the Gulf, heading for St. Pierre. Nothing to declare, all we had was gone. Broke down along the coast, but what hurt the most? When the people said, man, you better keep moving on. Acadian driftwood, gypsy tailwind, they call my home the land of snow. Canadian cold front moving on. What a lovely way, what a way to go. Everlasting summer filled with ill content. The government had us walking in chains. This ain't my turf, this ain't my season. Can't think of one good reason to remain. We worked in the sugar fields up from New Orleans. If they're ever green up into the free, you could call it an omen, points where you're going. Set my compass north, got winter in my blood. Acadian driftwood, gypsy tailwind, they call my name, the land of snow. Canadian cold front moving in. What a lovely way, what a way to go. Say to Academia, Jim Malapan, Dunne Jacques Fulano Tole, Share Academia, Tweedledee, Tweedledee, Tweedledoo, Share Academia, Doodly, doodly will go. It's fun, like, you know, Cajun
Very
French
nice,
is
very
fun
nice.
French.
Very nice.
Yeah, beautiful.
Randy's gone. How are you, Randy?
Hey guys, how are you?
Yeah.
How you doing?
Good, man. Very good.
Good. Good to see you.
Likewise, good to be here.
Is it just me, or are Randy and I slightly different colors? I mean, I don't know. I'm orange. I don't know why I'm orange. I spent like an hour trying to unorange myself.
It's the
before
professional
show.
lighting I have around.
Four old white guys. That's all I
the money you
see.
spend on it. I can see why. Yeah, God.
You know,
Yes.
lay off the tanning machines, Will. That's
I've got
all
the
I'm saying.
squiggly
I just-
CFL lights and the mid-warm Spectrum. Yeah,
Well,
the
I'm just
best
wondering-
Home Depot can provide.
It's the
There it
I
is.
figured it's just the orange makeup and the blonde hair comb over. You know, I'm one step away
Yeah.
from
That's
Don't
it.
even go there, girlfriend. That's
Well,
hardly
well,
a comb over. You have real
gray
hair.
goes with everything, right?
That's real hair. That's not a
Gray
comb
goes
over.
with everything. Yeah.
That is real hair. Mine is completely fake. I'd remove it.
Mine's actually Mohawk looms, and it's incredibly lifelike.
No, I love that Daniel Lanois song. That was really cool.
Incredibly lifelike.
Thanks. He's
really
he's
does.
awesome, and he is a guy that's like from Ontario,
Yeah,
who
yeah.
also, he's half Louisiana, half Canada. And
Oh, I didn't know. Is he really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I mean he's from Canada, but he has studio down in and he's one of the greatest producers.
Yes. Oh, yeah. No, I know of him. Yeah.
He's done some shit that's really Peter Gabriel, U2,
Right.
Neville,
Just a few obscure acts.
Right.
just a few,
yeah,
just a few, Hopefully, if he sticks with it, he'll have a career at some point.
He might be able to play a coffee house. Or
You mean in hip hop music? Yeah, maybe they'll find some way to use him.
Good luck with that. Yeah.
My house in Canada, in Nova Scotia, the French shore is about a 30-mile section along the Bay of Fundy, which is where all those 10,000 French Canadians lived. And they got expelled. The deportation. They got deported, right?
They were relocated by the Brits.
And so they ended up because what happened was the Brits and the French fought over that section of Nova Scotia for years and years and years, and they would take the fort. So you go to the fort, and it's like they've got like all the French names, and then all the British names, and all the French names. They kicked them out.
Yeah.
They kicked them out. They kicked them out.
Yeah.
And so one year, about five generations went by when there was peace between England and France. 5 generations. And the British said, okay, get your gun. We're going to go kill some Frenchmen. And the French in the French shore said, excusez-moi, we are French over here, right? And they said, all right, that's it. You're out. You're a national security risk. And they kicked him out. And when I was on my motorcycle trip, I went from Nova Scotia, where my house is the last house on the English side, and you cross the river and you end up with the French shore, 30 miles.
You're in a bad location.
If the war breaks out, right? And so then I was on the motorcycle and I was in. There it is. I was in Louisiana, in Lafayette, which is to the west of New Orleans. And I pull into town. I'm looking at like the name of the hardware store and the name of the restaurant. I'm like, it's all the names from the phone book in Nova Scotia, which is like this thick, right? Like a little teeny thing. And I'm like, wait a minute. And then they have a museum there. They're like, they tell the story from the other side. This is from a far off land where we used to be in Nova Scotia. Like, and then they left, and we don't know what happened to them. You know, the two worlds came together.
You know, like I love history. You know, and I basically only read 2 kinds of books. I read history books and music books. You know, I read nothing that's fiction. I just read everything that's nonfiction, because you can't make this shit up. You know, and I'm reading a very studious, ponderous book about the French-British wars of those wars, and the funny thing is, the French were the good guys. Like the French were really kind of they were the good guys. They had a tighter relationship with the Native Americans. When you see something like Last of the Mohicans, you're not rooting for the Brits under any circumstances anyway.
No.
Because they're douches in that friggin' movie too, but it's like the French guys are douches too. But they're all, I guess ultimately everybody who's
it's a French
in another
word.
land shooting people with
It's
their
a French word, so they really are douches.
There it is.
I'm
telling you, no, it's true. The Brits were sons of bitches. They were bad. The French were bad too.
We rule the world. Yeah, we'll kick your ass.
Yeah, anybody who's in charge of the world is kind of an asshole.
Yeah, that's kind of goes with the territory. Yeah.
Except us, of course. Except America. We're awesome.
Because we were just
we're not in charge, not only of the world, we're not in charge of anything. That's why we're
land of the home, king of the brave. Yeah, that's.
We can't. What's that?
Land of the powerless.
Sure.
It's just because we're musicians.
That's
a few words. We could be Ed in a rainstorm.
So this is the video. So Randy, I don't know if you saw it, but so I got in trouble with my homeowners association. Actually, not the actual homeowners association. Like it's really strong, and they're like you do anything out of line, they write you fines, and they're like,
where you are in Pennsylvania, you mean?
Yeah. They're like super strong. Like
voice, but I'm going to start. The time has come. Go ahead.
Oh, there you go. When in Connecticut, like if you do something bad, it takes a lot. Here, cheers.
Yeah.
Cheers, guys.
This is wine. All right, I just don't have a good glass. No, it's not.
Because it might do something about the orange color.
That might explain it. Yeah.
There it is.
What's in the water here?
Yeah, but so like if you're in Easton or Reading or whatnot, the town might come and be like, you have a car parked on your property that isn't registered, like whatever. But here, there are like a million rules, and there are people in your neighborhood watch, and they're looking to get you, or whatever.
This is their life, right?
So I posted this video yesterday. I'll show you like 10 seconds of it. I posted this video, and 6 people said, you're going to get a fine, you were speeding, and you didn't stop at any stop signs. Here it is. They actually thought I was going 400 miles an hour.
And the roads were snow covered.
That's right.
You're still alive.
I was going
reckless, Ed Train.
I was going 12 miles an hour, and I was like, God, I'm going to spin into the ditch.
Well, at this point, now you're like beyond the crazy cat guy. Now you're the crazy cat guy, musician, fucking lunatic on the road.
You're the talk of the town, man. What is going on with that guy?
I know, it's true. Everybody hates me.
But Ed, did you respond? Did you show them the original video at original speed?
Okay, so I got the comments at 3 o'clock in the morning. I let's see what's going on the.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I wrote every one of them back. Like, I was going 15 miles an hour, and I was stopping. I'm a responsible citizen. I was like, now I look like an idiot, like responding to these people. So I just deleted the whole thing. Like,
what forum were talking to you on? Facebook?
yeah, of course. We have a Facebook group, you know.
Oh, okay, like a local. Okay, yeah, I got it.
Local home.
Okay.
You guys know who Rick Beato is?
Oh, of course. He's
Oh, you should check him out. Yeah, so he's
I'm all over him, man.
Bill Loman wasn't sure, I think. He's a guy who... he's a guy you should watch on YouTube. He's like a super talented musician and an arranger and a composer and a producer from back in the day. He's our age. And but really nice, smart guy, and his opinions are pretty good. Except for I saw this on his show today.
Plenty of people hate trains.
What?
Plenty of people hate trains.
There it is.
So he's
the guy that does the tutorials.
Yeah.
Yes, right.
Tutorials, but he
like
also
the
does
best,
things like,
the best acoustic intro
ahead,
to a song, like that kind of thing.
That's what he does. Yeah, right. And he's pretty good.
Well, first off, Ed, you and he would have a great conversation, because one of his great rants, and it comes up about every 20th episode, is when he gets shut down for talking about a song. You know, and he's like, I'm promoting the artist. I'm promoting.
Right.
And apparently, the most draconian of all of them is the Eagles.
Yep.
He's like,
we've gotten shut down.
Yeah, and his series is What Makes This Song Great. And he's got about 400 of them.
Yeah.
And he's trying to do an Eagles song, What Makes This Song Great, and they fucking shut him down. Like,
right.
So he has to play it only like 5 seconds at a time in his acoustic. But he was a music professor. He put this. The best way to sum him up is he did a What Makes This Song Great. And he did Joni Mitchell's Amelia from Hygieia, which really is a fucking great song, musically, lyrically. And he's so musically literate, like he's above me on theory. Well, anybody above me on theory, you two head, but he's like a theory head. Joni Mitchell saw it and invited him to dinner out in California, and he had dinner with Joni Mitchell. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's a cool guy.
He's well respected.
You're playing Larry Carlton parts when you're playing that song.
Yeah, there you go.
You know,
So
plus,
the Eagles,
her tunings, which are like, you know,
he tears them apart. You're exactly right.
He also does this cool thing. I don't know if you ever seen it. There's this kid. I don't know who the kid is to him, but
It's his son, Dylan.
It's his son?
That kid has with the perfect pitch.
That's his son?
That's his son.
Oh, that's crazy. He's got a kid. I didn't know it was his son. Like, he'll say to his son, he'll take the keyboard and he'll play like a chord like this, like some insane, like the notes aren't related, and he'll say, sing it from low to high and tell me what the notes are, tell me what the chord is, and the kid's not even looking, and he'll be like, that's it's F, A flat, B flat, C flat, G flat, da da da, and it's a C minor 7 add 9 7.
He goes to a grease board and he writes them in notation, and then he'll turn around and go, sing a C sharp. And the kid hits it.
Perfect pitch.
It's stunning.
that's like that Whitney Houston bone that not most people have, you know, like where, you know.
Oh, I didn't know that was his kid. Of course, that's crazy.
He actually has a course, which I got a little bit of the way through, called an ear training method, which is actually pretty cool because it's not so technical. I love listening to his technical stuff, but he's talking about Lydian and Mixolydian and get me a bagel. But he's really, anyway, long story short, I'm a big fan of his. I think he's really cool.
He's good.
We did that, you know, like I was a music minor, and yet I am the least trained human being in existence. I understand certain things. I can't express them in the terms that would make them make sense, but I understand it. But we used to have, like, you know, sight reading classes and that kind of stuff. And, you know, I found that really interesting, but ultimately just looking at all those little markings on that paper that has lines on it, does that shit mean something to anybody?
That's crazy.
Well, I'm guessing that you read. Will, do you read?
I can't even read like regular stuff. When
I would
you're
have guessed
reading
you.
books,
I would have
can't
guessed
read
you were a
music.
theory guy the way you play. That's really cool.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
You're on it technically.
I could read when I was 6 and 7. I played accordion, and I would be playing, and my teacher, Mr. Greenfield, my hippy dippy accordion playing in a rock band teacher, said to me, "That was really great. You did a great job, except you forgot to turn the page on the sheet music." I was like pretending. I was like playing the song and pretending.
Yeah.
because I didn't want to read. I did it all by ear in those days. Pretty well. All right, Bill Loman, do another song for us.
Okay. What would you like to hear? Well,
I don't know. Play a good one.
Anything you like.
A good one. Okay, that's going to be tough.
A
All
good
right,
one.
we'll try. This is
Play
a
a
Paul
good
McCartney song. I dedicate this to little Ray Simonelli because Ray used to like this song a lot when I used to see him in the flesh at concerts. I'm sorry, I said that. Gigs in fucking bars. Okay. I look high, I look low, I look everywhere I go, looking for a home in the heart of the country. I want to move, I want to go, I want to tell everyone I know, looking for a home in the heart of the country. Heart of the country where the holy people grow. Heart of the country, smell the grass in the meadow. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I want a horse, I want sheep, I want to get me a good night's sleep. Looking for a home in the heart of the country. I want to move, I want to go, I want to tell everyone I know. Looking for a home in the heart of the country. Heart of the country where the holy people grow. Heart of the country, hear the grass in the meadow. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I wanna look, look low, I look everywhere I go, looking for a home in the heart of the country. I wanna know, I wanna go, I wanna tell everyone I know, looking for a home in the heart of the country. Heart of the country where the holy people grow. Heart of the country, smell the grass in the meadow. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Do, 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 fun stuff, you know?
Very
That was
nice.
great.
You kids.
Yeah,
That was great. I'm a McCartney freak. I'm a McCartney freak. That was really good.
The Nolan
Hey.
repertoire is like frighteningly broad. You know,
It is. It really is.
yeah. It's like here's Stephen Foster and Aretha Franklin, and it's like
right.
Stephen
No,
Foster,
but you know
Aretha
what?
Franklin.
Isn't that what music's all about, though? You know, isn't it? You know, and it's
So it makes it cool.
you know why? You know, like if you want to have like a successful career as like a bar restaurant cover guy. Hello, Nick. But a bar restaurant cover guy. You don't do that. That isn't what you do.
That's something to really like aspire to be a bar restaurant cover guy. I just like.
I would love to be that again. I'd love to play in a restaurant.
I was going to say, boys, here we are. I mean, this is.
I'm selling like a single guy carbon footprint mask presence. You know, like that's my sales point. It's like it's got nothing to do with music. It's just like, can you afford to have one guy who's mask playing in the corner?
That's what my son does. He's getting like $3 bills and up to $5 bills for an evening of solo acoustic guitar jukebox stuff.
Yeah.
That's great.
Oh yeah, he's. But I'm a McCartney freak in the sense that he's written some of those most brilliant songs and beautiful melody. I mean, he's such a melody guy, and he's written some of the most atrociously awful. You know, ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce Exhibit A, which is The Doggone Girl Is Mine, and Exhibit B, which is that insipid Christmas song. I mean, as soon as I hear that, piam, 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 pam, 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 pam. Like, no, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so if you're in the synthesizer world like I am, like the keyboard world, right? That's a meme in the world. It's like, let's see what the greatest musician in the world can do with a Yamaha CS80, the finest synthesizer ever made, and they sent him one, and that's what he did with it.
That's what he got.
Yeah, but you got like Stevie Wonder, Lady in Red. It's just like you never know. And
I
yet,
just called to say I love you. Yeah.
Right.
Right.
And yet,
I think he wrote that knowing AT&T was going to pick that up. I think that was a payday. Yeah,
He no dope.
yeah.
I don't know whether this is,
Shaw Wonder raised no fool. Yeah.
I don't know whether this is true or not. But I find there's a dynamic in great bands. And there aren't that many like great bands, but there's no differentiation between being a Don Henley guy and a Glenn Frey guy. That gets thrown out to the side. That's kind of one guy. But Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, you're a Stills guy or a Young guy, I think.
Right.
I'm a Stills guy.
Yeah.
Beatles, I'm a McCartney guy. Looking at looking at that movie, the movie that's out now, which for another show we'll talk about my take on that. But
I'd love to see that. I gotta get Disney, whatever. It's on Disney, right?
Yeah.
it's astoundingly fun to be there and see this stuff that you didn't know existed and get a much deeper sense of maybe what the relationship is. Maybe, but there's a lot of playing to the camera. There's a lot of stuff that's, and it's fucking long and it needs editing, but I love that it doesn't have it, but it becomes like, it's like a movie by Margaret Mead of chimpanzees or something.
I want
it's like,
everything in this. Everything.
you get to
must
see
be
it all. They're sticking the finger up their ass and smelling it. And there it is. But it's not like a great documentary.
Oh, look,
My
she's
eyes.
bending over and presenting for her mate. Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't want to give it to a real
to present something that's aggressive. It's like,
But Bill,
like,
honestly, I'm kind of glad you said that because I grew up with the Beatles. They're my heroes. Like, they had more influence on me than any teacher I ever had. I can't get through it. I can't get through it. I haven't made it off the first episode. And I don't know why. I mean, I should be loving this. All my musical friends are looking at me like I have two heads. And all right, this is going to sound really weird. Don't jump on me. It's like every band rehearsal I've been in, except for these are original songs and the most brilliant songs ever written. I get that. But it's like, okay.
Have you tried listening to it with headphones on?
I haven't. No.
I had a problem. I have only watched about the first hour and a half, 2 hours.
Okay.
I'm as Bill and as all of us are, I'm enamored of it. I'm fascinated by it. But here's what's going on with me. I found the back and forth and some of the off mic commentary hard to follow. It's like, okay, what are they talking about now, mate? Holy, what are they talking about now? Where are they going with that one? And so I go back and I put my headphones on and turn the volume up. And you know what? All of a sudden it's like, oh, okay. And I know that sometimes they have the, what am I trying to say? Subtitles, the video does
that aren't quite there. Yeah.
To give you a little bit to go on. In the absence of those, sometimes I found headphones have helped.
Nick, that's a great suggestion. I'm going to try that.
Yeah.
What you really get from this thing,
because you don't want to miss it. It's really phenomenal stuff.
I know.
You really get the Vulcan mind meld between John and Paul. You really get that.
Absolutely.
And poor fucking George.
I know.
Is sitting out there.
Oh man, talk about in the wilderness.
Sell them on like the song Something, or trying to sell them on the shit. And not for nothing that in the world of Karma, which certainly George believed in, the world of Karma, his solo album, All Things Must Pass, was the most successful solo Beatles album in the beginning, before Wing took off and before all that. It was like he got his measure of revenge a little bit.
No, and it's to your point, he plays for them All Things Must Pass. He pours his heart out. Yes. And there's this silence. They're all like, and so John, what did you want to,
just totally uninterested.
Ouch.
I find John in the footage, and I've gotten through 2 episodes. I haven't gotten through the third one, And my wife, I'm watching with my wife who's 10 years younger than me and is not was not 13 when they or 12 when they were on Ed Sullivan, and his whole world was turned upside down. Because suddenly the band was actually in front playing instruments. They weren't like some guy with a microphone and the music was somewhere else.
With a few
you're actually seeing the drummer and the bass player and
there's
the
wires into those guitars at
Ed
Sullivan studio.
And those guys, what's crazy about this movie to me is just, when you see the genesis of like Come Together or
I agree.
Get Back, you see the genesis of Get Back, you just sit there and how things get created like that sort of in the studio, it blows my mind. And Billy Preston comes off like the savior of that whole freaking thing. Until he got involved, it was not happening.
They were like all over the place. Yeah.
It was a whole different bag. Yeah. And I didn't know, like on Get Back, he's on the label of the single on Apple. I never noticed that or knew that or even thought about that.
Wow.
It's like, I guess I bought the album, so I didn't, but I had no idea how instrumental he was. I didn't know who was playing that little piano part in Get Back.
Yeah.
That's
brilliant. It's so fucking perfect. Like,
and you can tell he just like, he just like, like what Train would do. Just like, here you go. You need something to fill it in. Here you go. Like, works.
And his bona fides were, George had seen him on tour with Ray Charles.
That's right.
Right.
And frankly, if there's no greater bona fide, you ask me, that's like.
And then at one point, George goes, "I saw him with Ray Charles. Actually, he's better than Ray Charles."
Right. Easy now, easy on that. But
But George said it. I know. Yeah.
But Jeff Pevar is the guy from Connecticut. And Jeff Pevar is a great guitarist, and he's played with He's played with, I think, Crosby, Stills, and Nash. He's played with like those Crosby things called CPR, which he's the P of the CPR. He's a great player. But there's the YouTube stuff of him playing with freaking Ray Charles, and Ray Charles, he does a solo, and it's fucking brilliant because he's a great player. He's from Connecticut, and he's a great player. And it's like I heard a story from my friend Crispin, who was telling a story just about how Ray hears these guys noodling around. He goes, "Is that Jeff Pevar? Is this Jeff Pevar?" And I was like, funny. "Fuck, man, to have Ray Charles just pick you out of is that Jeff?" It's like, that's making it, baby. I don't give a shit how many platinum records you have, but Brother Ray picks you out of the crowd. That would kill me. Anyway,
pretty cool. All right. Well, let's change gears a little bit. Let's get Will Beard to play a song for us.
Here.
The full commentary of that. Yeah, let's see. All right.
I want to see that Beatles thing. I'm worried I'm going to hate it too now that Randy said it because I'm Dr. No.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it. It's interesting. I just can't get through it. I have adult ADD, and after about 45 minutes of it, I'm like, I'm getting online and I'm browsing while it's on. And
I'm going to try. I'm going to try.
Keep in mind, it was like 1,600 hours.
I know.
And they brought it down to whatever 3 2-hour movies,
Yeah.
But it's like it's long,
Yeah.
And
I don't even mind long. It just I got to give it another chance. I should shut the fuck up and really just watch the whole thing. The best thing I can say is visually, I can't believe the quality of the video. It's so good. It's
because they shot it on film. They shot it on 16 millimeter film, probably.
And it's like they recorded it yesterday. It's so to see these guys.
Yeah.
My heroes, none of whom is over 30. Doing this stuff. It's like yesterday. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
Yeah,
cool.
Scrambled eggs.
All right, Will Beard, what do you got for us?
All right, I got a Carole King tune for you. How about that?
That sounds all right.
Change gears.
Very nice.
Bravissimo, man. That was
That-
gorgeous.
That was beautiful, man.
That
That
was
was
nice.
Thanks. That was inspired by Taylor Swift, actually.
What?
Yeah. When Carole King was inducted into the Hall of Fame, Taylor Swift was like the opener for the thing, and she did this version of this where you just went, wow. There's this whole new generation taking this gem of a thing, like a Stephen, what one day will be the equivalent of a Stephen Foster song 100 years from now, and makes it like completely her own. And I went, oh, I'll try to make it my own. So
I would say mission accomplished.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
very
great.
cool.
Thanks, Nick. I appreciate
Did you
that.
guys see the CNN special of the James Taylor Carole King reunion tour? It was like a 2-hour special a week or two ago.
Oh,
Anybody see that? Oh, find that.
I saw
It's-
it before. It was on. It's been out there before.
It has. It has.
Yeah.
And they brought it back, and it's just. I mean, they're so. I don't know. They're just so effortless in what they're doing. Of course, they've got all their folks. They've got Russ on guitar and Cooch. I mean, Russ
Right.
on drums and
Yeah.
Cooch on guitar. And my bass hero, Lee Sklar, on bass. And
Yeah, we were
it's
talking about them
just-
last week. It was,
Yeah, it's just there's. I mean, the band's great. Everything's great, but the two of them have a Lennon McCartney thing, like what you guys were just talking about. They just kind of look at each other and know what to do. And there's legendary stories that James Taylor maybe isn't like the nicest guy off stage. And I'm getting that mostly from the Carly Simon interview on Howard Stern, which was not.
I think that's a
kind.
tough place to get it from, though.
Yeah, I know. I
True,
know.
a little biased. Yeah.
But goddamn, he's so fucking good. That guy, just to watch a guy be able to finger pick like that and sing the way he does
yeah.
and do these, I don't know, just improvise on the melody and all that. Anyway, I'm being long-winded. It's really fucking good.
No, but also for the guitarists here in this little group that we have here, Taylor has his stuff on his own website. He has a pretty nice sort of tutorial thing where
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah.
he has a nice tutorial thing where he has a camera that's inside the sound hole.
Yeah.
And he'll show you certain picking things. The one thing about Taylor, which is funny to me, is he doesn't finger like I'm assuming like anyone in this group right here fingers.
He taught himself how to form chords.
His form of like a D chord leaves the index finger out to play like the B minors and the F sharps and that kind of things. And the only person I know who plays like that, ironically, is Ray Simonelli, who teaches a class. And I'm like, do you teach a class like that? Because that ain't no way, baby. That's not what any of us learned how to. And this is a guy who plays so many hammer-ons and pull-off kind of stuff. Like.
Very good.
And yet he's playing them where he somehow has to use, it's like all backward, like just as a goof. Like look at his website and just look at how he fingers. His fingering is crazy. And I agree with you, Randy. He's brilliant. And Carole King, between Carole King and James Taylor, they taught me almost everything I needed to know about chord resolutions and between them and Burt Bacharach and there's a few other people.
Bacharach is an interesting,
but it's like she has a song that she wrote. She got together with a guy named Howard. I think it was Howard Greenfield. She got together with him for one day at the Brill Building, like one day. And they wrote the song for the Everly Brothers called Crying in the Rain. And there is no more beautiful song. And I'm an Everly Brothers freak, there's no more beautiful song. And it's Carole King and Howard Greenfield. And it's got like this interior, rhyme and this interior chord change stuff.
Really?
They worked once, they never worked again, and it went to like, number 4 but it's just like, these people taught me everything about music. I mean, they taught me everything you need to know, and you had to have a little bit of an ear, and that's what I have. I can't decipher.
Now, did you
on the lined paper that I don't understand?
Like, did you study what they were doing, Bill, or was it more like it's just kind of you listened to them and
just absorb it,
got in your bones?
Well, I mean, you just, and before that, guys that wrote for Sinatra and, Cole Porter and, that kind of stuff, songcraft, and it's just kind of, I had 2 older sisters. So if you have 2 older sisters, you have a big leg up on a lot of people because I was hearing things you know, at five, I knew who Elvis Presley was. You know, like at the Everlys, I was on them when I was like 6 years old. You know, like it's like, and I was hearing them a lot, and you know, the
Bill,
people who wrote a lot of their songs. It's a couple named Felice and Boudleaux Bryant. They wrote so many of their songs, and they were the first people to move to Nashville as songwriters only, and they wrote all these Everly songs. You know, they wrote you know, Wake Up Little Susie, Bye Bye Love.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Great song. Great
As a little
song.
kid, man, you know, like I don't know if I was absorbing it, Will, in any sort of a musical way, but experientially, it taught me everything. And if you're only an ear guy, you heard what was going on there. And, you know, every time you hear like a,
right.
every time you hear a resolution,
Yeah.
you know, you're like, yeah. And
I can relate.
because you like the major seventh.
Right.
Oh my God. Like the Rolling Stones taught you like the, you know, the regular seventh chords, but then suddenly it's like, and you're like, I'm so fucking sensitive. Holy shit, am I sensitive? Yeah.
You know,
Yes,
I'm the youngest of three, and my older siblings. I don't know how many other siblings you had, Bill, but I'm the youngest of the trio myself. And my older brother and sister were always bringing home this stuff. I was 10 years old when the Beatles, 9 years old, going on 10, on February 9, 1964. And anyway, I can relate to your passion of being aware of songs and artists and how the stuff's being played at an age very young and ahead of your peers, maybe.
Right.
And I was bringing home awareness of bands and stuff that my friends, my age, but they were the eldest in their family, in some cases, with the exception of the Beatles, which sort of exploded universally. There's a lot of stuff that my brother would come home and he would say, listen to this. And he'd put the needle back at the start of the grooves and he'd say, catch that bass player. Listen.
Love that. That's
Check
awesome.
it out. Check it out.
Now catch that hi-hat work. And I learned to listen in tracks before I understood what exactly that meant for me. You know, it's like, yeah, I hear that now. And I hear stuff in songs that I'm sure you do too, because we're all musicians and we listen that way. But at that age, I was like,
the bottom line on the whole thing is, you know, I do believe this to be true, that the greatest attribute of any musician is ears, listening, hearing.
Yeah.
You know, everything else is bullshit. You know, you could be the most virtuoso person in the world.
Yes.
I don't give a rat's ass. If you can't hear or know when to lay back or know when to lay out, or, you know,
exactly.
ears
and chops, schmops. If you don't,
means nothing.
You got to know how to dance with the other players, you know?
Exactly. You got to learn to leave space.
Bill, real quick, I had never heard that song. What was that song you were referring to that Carole King wrote for the Everlys?
Crying in the Rain.
Crying in the Rain. I'll never let you see.
Great song.
Just what this lonely heart has broken me. But this is the best. I know a thing of the same. I'll do my crying in the rain. Raindrops falling from heaven will never wash away this memory. But since we've been together, I look for stormy weather to hide the tears I hope you'll never see.
Yeah, great line.
And great is that. Someday when, you know, I mean, I just love that going. But I'd still love you so, even though you remain. I mean, shit, man. You know, like,
I'd have to replay that 10 times to learn that on bass. You
wouldn't.
You'd know it.
It's so simple. It's just, it's so founded in something that's just so, you know, a lot of the music today, pop music today, I have to admit, it pushes certain like little emotional buttons. You know, my problem with it is that the chorus is the verse. There is no bridge. And they're pushing the button the whole time. And to me, it's like, I prefer to hit the button at a point where it's going to mean something to me, you know, like as opposed to, you know, it's kind of like you're riding on that damn accelerator, right? And going 100 miles an hour through the streets of Pennsylvania, wherever the fuck you are.
You are articulating, back to Rick Beato, Ed. your articulate where he basically went through all the Grammy-winning songs.
I watched it.
Isn't that great?
And he's like, he just wants to say, this is all a bucket of bullshit. Like,
no, but then there were several songs he was like, that's good. That's a real voice. She was actually a little sharp on that note, and it works. That's a real. It's not, auto-corrected or you know what I mean.
Right. And then his best comment on that video was I can't remember what song. It might have been Bruno Mars or something, and he went, "That was a great song if Earth, Wind, and Fire." If Earth, Wind, and Fire had never existed.
But Bruno Mars is as close as it gets to somebody who emulates, to me, what's real.
He's the real deal. He's the real deal, and he's also an entertainer. Like Michael Jackson, he spends as much time working out choreography as he does the songs and the instrumentation. He's an entertainer. If you go to see Bruno Mars, you're not going to see a guy sitting on a stool playing songs. He said, hey, man.
Hey, Chris.
Because real quick, before I'll shut the fuck up. You had mentioned Burt Bacharach. And I just as a challenge, I tried to learn some Burt Bacharach songs. They're hard as fuck.
They are.
And particularly, I'll mention the song. You guys know Promises, Promises. Promises, Promises.
I love you. I mean,
the song Promises, Promises
Dionne Warwick,
changes time signatures like 3 times in the fucking song. It's
what's a whacked out song of his, and for that reason is the song Promises, Promises. Like, Promises, Promises. It's not one of my favorite songs of his, but it's like it's from a Broadway musical, and it's like it's just like what the fuck, it's like jazz.
All right, Bill. The reason we're all laughing is that while you were doing that beautiful version of a Burt Bacharach tune, Randy was trying to cut in, and he was like, "There's this song, Promises, Promises, and let me tell you what this is. It's a riveting thing, and it's like a Broadway show."
That's exactly the song I was referring to. I spent like an hour trying to learn on bass. It was like,
and Bill just like whips it off.
That one, that's but that's not his best. That's
no.
But it's a crazy example of how comfy he is with. Plus he had Dionne Warwick, the muse,
amazing voice.
Yeah.
She was his muse,
good match.
And she had that trumpet. He had that trumpet sound. Beautiful. Oh, boy.
Good stuff. So speaking of that trumpet sound, Will Baird, what else we got?
I can bring out my tuba if you want.
Bring out your tuba. I'll get my sousaphone. We'll do a duet.
I'm not sure what I'll play because I'm.
Pick a number, any number.
I still haven't found what I'm looking for.
Okay.
Spin the wheel.
I'm going to mute and play along. There.
Got to start over again because, I won't explain.
Bravo.
Still
Very
haven't found what I'm
nice,
looking
very
for.
nice.
I left it in the car, I think, but I can't find it. Whatever I'm looking for.
My car keys. I still can't find them.
No, I love
I think
your
the-
style, man. You have a great style.
Oh, thank you very much. But,
Yeah, very cool.
Coming from there's only one compliment that's better than a crap load of applause, which is a compliment from another musician that you respect.
No, they were all applauding. I just couldn't push the unmute fast enough. Like.
No, what better than from peers that you respect?
I
and
agree.
Have them say
Every-
stuff.
Right.
Every now and then I'll be with some band, and I think nobody's paying attention to the bass player because nobody pays attention to the bass player. And then every now and then somebody will come around when they're leaving, like, I was watching you all night. Nice job. Like that makes my whole.
That was a cop. That was a cop who
That's
said
right.
that.
I was watching it all night.
We had a report of a 14-year-old girl that was
Hands up on the wall, feet out and spread 'em.
I was watching you all night, and you've already broken the court order for distance from the schoolyard.
That's right.
Oh
You've been
my
served.
God.
Yeah.
Do you walk that way because of the ankle bracelet we were wearing?
That's it. It's a little tight. It's been on so long.
Your steps are inhabited as a chain between those bracelets.
Oh my God. Bill Nolan, Will Baird, thanks for playing. That was great.
Yeah, you guys
Thanks
are
for-
fucking awesome.
Thanks for letting me.
It's a
Thanks
good
for letting me
night.
back in the game.
I knew that Jam TV would thrive with the latest pandemic fiasco.
I know. I know.
Oh,
I think we
Jesus,
have to. Somebody has to do the statistical correlation, Ed, of your viewership and the rate of COVID.
I'm telling you.
I think it's a 0.9
Yeah,
correlation.
That's right. And you have to factor in the weather. If it's nice weather, if it's really hot, everybody's inside with air conditioning. If it's really cold, if it's raining, everybody's
Yeah,
inside.
yeah.
But if it's a nice barbecue day, even
Yeah,
Bill
it's
Nolan's
warm
got
and-
some tuna on the grill, like
Forget it. Yeah.
Yeah, but this is at nighttime now. It's
yeah, it's
if it
true.
was on
I-
Sunday, it would be different on Sunday.
There you go. Might be different. I don't know. I we're all stuck at home now, so it doesn't matter what
That's
day
right.
it is
Yeah,
now.
we have no choice either way.
It's like if you're on the International Space Station, who cares if it's Tuesday?
There's this thing called Jam TV between doing our experiments on Pluto with the telescope, and these guys are pretty fucking good. You should check
Actually,
them out.
Bill, I wasn't talking about changing the night of the show. I just wanted to call whatever tonight is Sunday from now on. Like this is.
What are you, like some pharaoh or
because-
something?
Yeah, exactly. We're
because
just gonna adjust.
It's because
Maybe
Will's
the
plays these
Egyptian
on Sundays.
calendar.
Yeah. Well, that's it.
Poor Bill's
on
already done
Ed-
that.
Trainer,
I feel like I've become the Ed McMahon of this show.
We're all the Ed McMahon.
There's
exactly.
somebody who always says something, and I find myself laughing, just like
So Ed's
You know?
Johnny.
it's just
Will,
like
Will is Ed McMahon. Bill is Doc Severson, right? There we go, right?
wow.
And then Chris and Randy, you guys are in the band. It's like
I'm in the
studio band. There we go.
I think
studio band.
I'm unfortunately I'm probably the Rickles
John Rickle.
I'll be
you
Rodney
got-
Dangerfield.
You
then.
you got wit, but you're not mean, Randy. You're not. You
Oh, I
know.
can be really.
Yeah, a nice version.
Yeah,
haven't
so
seen the
who's the guy?
Grant.
Who's the guy from Breaking Bad? What's his name? The actor who did the lead role.
Brian Cranston.
I saw an interview with him the other day, and he looked and sounded just like Bill Nolan.
No shit.
No, he does.
Like I was like, "That's Bill Nolan." Oh my God.
What if Bill Nolan had a grain of the success of Brian Cranston? That would be fabulous.
Brian Cranston. That's it, right?
I mean, the most bizarre thing is that you remember the show that he started out on.
No,
The father. He was the father in
Malcolm in the Middle.
Of Malcolm in the Middle, and he was like this goofy, wacky, comical.
That's right.
You know, and then here he's this dark, like Breaking Bad.
Yeah. But he's this sort of mild-mannered, well-spoken guy. You know, like on the interview, he was like this nice, well-spoken guy. So it's kind of funny.
He's
in
he
between,
has a
like
cameo
having
in-
people killed for know, selling meth. Yeah.
He has a cameo in Saving Private Ryan too. He plays the officer who has one arm gone.
Wow.
Oh, really? Wow.
And the command, they march in, whatever the scene where they figured out they got to go talk to General Marshall, I guess, to get this guy out of Normandy, right? To get
Right. I got to go see Saving Ryan's Privates again because I haven't, you know.
That was the porn. That was the porn.
Yeah, that was
version.
actually in the
Saving Ryan's
80s.
Privates.
That's
I
true.
remember
They
that.
always do
Randy-
those porn names.
Yeah,
He
Randy.
did also.
Randy.
I didn't see it, but he did like a one-man show on Broadway, and I saw clips of it that were amazing, where he played LBJ.
Right.
Yes,
And-
I saw it. He was phenomenal.
Oh, did you really see
I
it?
did see it. He was really,
Was it
really
good, Nick?
Yes, well worth the time we took.
Oh, wow, cool.
Huge.
That's pretty.
Speaking of phenomenal,
Randy.
it's
I forgot
Heidi.
about that. Hey,
Ladies and
Heidi.
gentlemen,
How are
please
you?
welcome.
Hey,
I haven't
Hey.
seen you in
Nice to
forever.
see
How
you.
are you?
Nice to meet you. I don't know if I met you.
Good.
Oh,
I don't
that's
know you,
Heidi.
But I heard you last week, and you're awesome.
Heidi's
true.
I'm impressed already that Heidi has the ability to have her name in the center of her picture, whereas the rest of us aren't capable of getting ours in the center. But she's
It actually kind of,
there's
it
like a
kinda
magical
looks-
kind
Not
of
on
thing
the
there
screen
going on. I
here.
don't know how she
Hold
did
on.
that.
No, it looks
Yeah.
good.
Oh, no, not moved. I don't know. I can't tell.
Yeah,
I'm
There you
losing
go.
my mind.
How you doing, Heidi? How's it going in Texas?
I'm okay. I was listening to what you just said, by the way. There's been no correlation between my attendance or non-attendance on the show.
On COVID, because you've been cooped up anyway.
I've been cooped up the whole time, and then what happened with my arm, and which continues, and what happened with Mike Baumwall, and so I've been just really forcing myself to.
Wait, I see your fingers doing this. I see all kinds of stuff happening there.
I have a contracture. I can't close my hands. I have a lot of issues.
No fun.
Sorry.
I'm still in physical therapy. It looks like it's, but it's not. Wait, hold on. You know, when they do that commercial, all of a sudden on Dupuytren's contracture, I mean, I have a contracture now. So this is the problem. No, I can't do that. Hold on. I can't close it.
Yikes! Well, that you got to take up the accordion because that's what they have to. You have to play it like that.
Yeah,
you know, like-
yeah. Well, piano too, but like I can't do certain things. It's very painful. And
Have you tried to play the piano yet?
Oh yeah, I do constantly to try to help. But the problem is every single finger feels like it hurts like broken fingers.
Yeah.
I've had broken fingers and toes, and it feels like fractured. It's
Ugh.
a horrible feeling, but
I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
I'll
that's
get
terrible.
through it, and I'm just trying to deal with in the middle of everything else, like just Omicron and not
Right.
leaving the house at all. We had like a month that we started like eating out. We're not eating out anymore. We're not doing anything like
Yeah, I
that.
know.
Nope. And my band called me up about a week ago that they have all the original players back in the band and that they'd love to share the stage with me again. And I was like, I can't.
Not doing it.
By the way, guys, was that the lamest excuse to Ed trying to convince someone to play the accordion?
That's it.
That's
That's
true, he's
it.
trying.
You
He's
ought to
trying.
take up the
Yeah.
accordion with a
That was
hand
the
like
worst.
that.
That was
Yeah.
That was
Will,
the
you
worst
return back to a
recruiting
normal color
poster
if-
for playing accordion.
I do see a little Don Rickles there. I do see a little Don Rickles there. Randy.
I had a little, a toy accordion when I was a kid, and I really started playing it and enjoying it. And I thought, not long ago, I actually considered buying one. And I saw you playing. Do you remember when I didn't realize that I don't know why, I just thought you had picked up this accordion. I was like, wow, he's really good. And then I realized that you were the one playing keyboards in the video.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's right. It didn't even connect. It was in the early days of making videos.
Right.
Right.
I was
I was watching you guys before, and I think I caught the tail end without hearing what you were talking about. I think you were talking about my favorite YouTube personality, Rick Beato.
Yes.
Oh, Rick Beato.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. Yeah.
I gotta check this guy
and
out.
I'm like, it's growing. Like, and have you watched his interviews recently?
Oh, yeah.
I watch almost everything I can. I was referring to the fact that he had taken apart Joni Mitchell's Amelia as one of the greatest songs ever written.
Okay.
And Joni invited him to dinner in California. And he
I
went.
saw that, and I haven't watched the video yet. I said, "Oh, I didn't see this one."
Yeah, it's cool.
Of course, I was watching his show earlier today, and he said he was talking about the band Train, and he goes, "Train, nobody likes Train, right?" So I got this.
Plenty of people hate Train.
Oh boy, I was like, uh-oh.
I was like, that's for me. That's it. That's as close as I'm going to come to Rick Beato's show. You know,
that Grammy analysis he did that you guys were talking about the other night. It was like 3:00 in the morning, and I was like, "Oh, I can't go to sleep yet. I have to listen to that." And I listened to every single song that he analyzed. And
the What Makes This Song Great series.
Mm-hmm. I have no idea who this is. I got to check it out.
Rick Beato, a really great guy. If anybody wants a link, send it to send me a private message.
The latest one was the one that he did with Sting. The interview.
I saw that.
Yeah.
And you just want to know this guy. Like, you just want to, like, invite him over and shoot the shit with him. We want to have him on the... Maybe we'll get him on the show. What do you think?
Yeah. He hates Train?
Let's
invite him.
An idea.
See if we can suck him in.
He started out as a bass player. That was his first instrument.
Well,
and then he was a classical bass player. He was an upright player. And then he went... I mean, he plays every goddamn instrument. And to see him emulate these solos, note for note, right? He's the real deal, and he knows everything about gear. He's Ed, you would love this. He's a total gearhead. He goes through his studio and takes you through everything he has.
Does he use the flat round strings, or does he use the regular,
the
half rounds, or the full crown round? Which doing the crown round
that exists?
The top round.
So,
my God.
Have you seen the girl that he talks about that he likes, and he interviewed Mary Spender?
No, I didn't see that.
I haven't seen that.
Marianne, she has her own chat. She's one of the people he recommends, and she's a young girl.
Oh, is she the keyboard player?
She's a guitarist.
Oh, no, he has another keyboard player he loves. Okay.
Oh, okay. And then...
Who's a woman?
Yeah, so check her out. She's cool. She just did a whole analysis of the Get Back Beatles movie, the documentary. So
we were talking about that before. Good stuff.
Oh, were you? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
We were going to go see that, that's for sure. But Nick Carter, do some music for us.
Okay, here we go. So we're going to do cover and original, I guess. Jimmy Webb's going to start us off.
All right.
These walls could talk. If these old walls could speak, what a tale they'd have to tell. Hard-headed people raising hell, couple in love living week to week, rooms full of laughter. If these old walls could speak, if these old halls, if hallowed halls could talk, these would have a tale to tell. Sun going down and dinner bells, children playing hide and seek from floor to rafters. If these old walls could speak, they would tell you that I'm sorry for being cold and blind and weak. They would tell you that it's only is I got a stubborn streak. If these walls could speak, if these old-fashioned Window panes had eyes, I guess they would have seen it all. Every little tear and silent step fall, and every dream that we came to seek and followed after, if these walls could speak. They would tell you that I owe you more than I could ever pay. Here's someone who really loves you, don't ever go away. That's what these walls would say.
That was terrific. That was really great.
Thank you.
Agreed. That was cool. I agree.
Really, really good.
Jimmy Webb, he's pretty amazing. Some of his best stuff's pretty incredible. Really
another in that category where we were talking. Bill was talking about Burt Bacharach, how he had this wide range of all these different. Right. He's the same sort of thing. Up and Away and Wichita Lineman. What? Those?
Can you imagine? Same guy who wrote this one. Amazing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The funny thing with Wichita Lineman, I read a book that's all about songwriters, and he always intended for there to be a bridge in it, and there isn't.
I know.
It's true.
It's funny, like you can't fuck with it because it's so beautiful the way it is.
Exactly. It would get in the way.
But you can see how there could have been, but
Yeah, but it's so complex already. I mean, I can never figure out which key I'm in. I'm like, I'm in D now, but now I'm in C. And don't try to do any solo here because you're going to completely confuse yourself, and then you won't even know what key
you're in. B flat, kind of.
It's like, of course, on the other hand, this is coming from a guy who's now going from orange to red. I don't know what the hell's wrong with my camera, but I'm sorry. I really am. I look so strange. And next to Randy, I mean, it's just.
We gotta get you some disco lights, man.
Please forgive me. Forgive me all.
And on Wichita Lineman, I've had this debate with people. Like, what is that song about? I personally think it's about a guy who's losing his mind. Like, he's going insane. He's on this.
I think it's about a guy who works for CLMP.
Yeah, but I can hear you on the wire. I know I need a small vacation, but it don't look like rain.
I know I need a small vacation.
Hold on, calm down.
But it don't look like rain. I remember being in high school, junior high school, listening to that song. I loved that song.
Oh God!
Big old fat. I don't know what he was playing for a guitar in that lead.
He claimed in an interview. He claimed in an interview that he said, well, I wrote the song because I always wanted to write a song about what the common man had on his mind.
Interesting.
That was what he said.
A pretty elitist thing to say. I like it.
So it's like, he's thinking of his girlfriend. What do you expect?
I'm going to put my blue jeans on and go among the people.
And think of women, my ex-girlfriend, anyone.
Forever in blue jeans.
Yeah, exactly.
The king, like I always liked that story as a kid. Like the king would go out into the commoners and be like, "Oh, let me see how the commoners live in filth, and, big shit and filth."
Then they threw feces at him.
Good stuff. All right, Nick Carter. Now you gotta do your own song.
That's right. Now the heat's on you.
Yeah, the heat's on is right. Well, this song's about a lady who loves bourbon. And it's, I think it's track 5 or 6 on this album that'll be out in the springtime. Called Old Fashioned Girl. Music coaxes her off the street. She's always got a dance floor beneath her feet. She might take you by the hand, but only 'cause she loves the band. You'll want her lipstick close and she's two-step trouble with a straight up dose. You just smile when she lifts her glass and puts it down and dances past. She's an old-fashioned girl on the dance floor alone. Men drinking every moon. They want to take her home. She's whiskey and bitters with a twist and a sugar smile on Friday night. She dips her finger in, gives that ice a swirl. She's an old-fashioned girl. She slaps her hand down on my stool. Been so long since I've seen you. Here's to another dance. She got me drinking to a second chance. Well, she's a gypsy in amber light. She takes me back to high school nights. Wry smiles and then a kiss. A cup of comfort to our lips. She's an old-fashioned girl on the dance floor alone. Women drinking every move. They wanna take her home. She's whiskey and bitters with a twist and a sugar smile. On Friday night, she dips a finger in, gives the ice a swirl. She's an old-fashioned girl. Well, the mix will hit me hard if I'm not careful. She'll go straight to my head, but I can't let her. She's an old-fashioned girl on the dance floor alone. Men drinking every move. They all wanna take her home. She's whiskey and bitters with a twist and a sugar smile. On Friday night, she dips a finger in, gives that ice a swirl. She's an old-fashioned girl. She's an old-fashioned girl.
Very nice.
That's a well-crafted song. That really is. That's a
really nice
well-crafted song.
Yep. Yeah.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that a lot. Yeah, it's I'm not a bourbon drinker, but a friend of mine in California turned me on to Old West, the Old West bourbon, and I'm going, all right, I'll try this. And then I learned the recipe, how you make old-fashioned. I'm still a Scotch guy, but in any case, so there it is, old-fashioned girl.
I never got the double entendre. I'm a moron. I never got that. I've heard you play that song 2 or 3 times. Old-fashioned.
I just heard his song on the big screen, just so you know.
Whiskey and bitters with a twist.
Yeah, I know. No,
that's all right. It's cool.
All right.
But see, so here's the hope. Here's the hope that people listen to this song once the album's out, right? And they'll listen to it once. They'll say, oh, it's, whatever. It sounds nice. Maybe they'll listen to it again or again. And maybe and it's up to the audience. I wrote the song, recorded it. It's now out of my hands, right? It's up to the world to decide if it does anything or if they like it. But maybe as you just said, you'll listen to it once or twice, all of a sudden you kind of say, oh, whiskey better. Oh, what else is in there? Anyway, who knows?
You need a sponsorship. The album's got to come with a coupon for like Basil Hayden or some great bourbon.
Well, I'm toying with I'm toying with names to title the album, and I'm extracting sort of lyric from various songs to use them to generate the title. You know what I'm saying? It's not like it's going to be "Old-Fashioned Girl" is the title, which is the name of that song. Maybe
Good
Whiskey
stuff.
and Bitters. Who knows?
There you go. Sounded great.
I hope you take this as a compliment because it's a great pop tune, and I'm a pop addict. That's a great pop.
Well, not to go on and on about it, because the thing about your album, it's so goddamn narcissistic, and I'm not, you guys know me well enough. I like playing just like you guys do, but this narcissism thing, it's like, fucking man, what is that shit? But the album, that song, appropriately, is just under 3 minutes. So maybe it'll
I'm
work.
very proud.
That's the single.
Perfect.
Yeah.
It's
3
perfect.
minutes.
We've thought about it that way, the guys I've been working with. So
That's great. Which one's going to be on AM radio? Have you decided the AM hit now?
Well, I don't know. That might be. The song "Handrail in the Dark" is.
Only way it's going to be on AM
There's
radio.
an FM DJ that I know who's actually very interested in "Handrail in the Dark," which you've heard before, but I didn't do tonight. And,
Who's interested in it besides everybody?
Yeah, well, thank you for that. No, I don't know. We'll find out.
And if it's on AM radio, it's going to be the opening music to some conservative talk show.
I was going to say, actually, if you want it, just
What's that?
It'll be the opening music for some conservative talk show on Trump's new network. It'll be like the anthem for Trump's new campaign. You'll be like, no. Oh my God, good stuff.
Yeah.
So Chris Owen, what do you got for us? How you doing?
Hey Ed, hey everybody. Well, I got a couple of two. I'm going to kind of go out on a limb and I have a couple of Dadgad songs here.
Ooh. Okay.
Ooh.
Tuning. Yeah, it's not as
Blue Raga by Baby Graham.
Anyway, these are songs about animals. One is about a mouse, and the other is about a salamander, and they're both by Ian Anderson. What a surprise!
Awesome.
Ian Anderson. Wow.
Randy, you want to pass that over?
Yeah, I would gladly.
Just pass it through the window.
I have no social life during COVID. I'm like wine, weed. Yes, the answer is yes. What's the question?
Anything that will get me through.
So there's an ad in California. Apparently, my son does weed. He's in California, so he can get it recreationally. And anyway, but there's some word that it helps prevent or helps. If you have COVID, it helps work out symptoms. I have no idea if that's really true because it's respiratory, and I wouldn't think that would be too smart. So
yeah, I wouldn't want to go defend that in court.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to. Although, you might try after a while. Sorry. Chris, over to you. I'm sorry, Ed.
No problem. Take it away. So One Brown Mouse. What can I tell you about this song? It was Anderson's answer to Robert Burns's poem To a Mouse, which contained the great line, the best laid plans of mice and men go off the glay. Right? Burns had stumbled on a little mouse hut in a field and destroyed it with his foot. And that started this poem. Anyway, this is more about the human condition and One Brown Mouse, Ian Anderson's take on it in Dadgad Tunings. Smile, take some tea with me a while, and brush away that dark cloud from your shoulder. Twitch your whiskers, feel that you're really real. Another tea time, another day older. Puff one breath on your tiny hand. You wish you were a man who every day can turn another page. Behind your glass, you sit and look at our ever-open book. One brown mouse sitting in a cage. Do you wonder if I really care for you? Am I just the company you keep? Which one of us exercises on the old treadmill? Who hides his head pretending to sleep? Smile, you little smile. Take some tea with me a while, and brush away that black cloud from your shoulder. Twitch your whiskers, feel that you're really real. Another tea time, another day older. Puff one breath on your tiny hands. You wish you were a man who every day can turn another page. Behind your glass, you sit and look at our ever-open book. One brown mouse sitting in the cage. One brown mouse sitting in a cage. One brown mouse sitting in a cave.
Very nice. Very nice. Beautiful.
I love
cool.
how you.
Well
I
done.
love how you dig into Ian Anderson. I
Yeah.
love what you do, and you have a great voice for it, Chris.
Yes,
It's hard to
I agree.
do.
Thank you. I've been singing
hard
along with them now for about 50 years.
Yeah.
So,
Have you ever been in radio in any event?
no, I haven't been in radio. Other than this is the only thing I've ever done that's like multimedia. on
Sure.
television,
I guess
you
you
know,
have a
music.
marvelous voice for radio.
Yeah.
No, Nick is right. You have the classic radio voice.
Yeah.
Go get some voiceover work. Pay the bills.
It's
I
kind of a
miss,
rest.
I miss my calling. Yeah,
You've got the face for radio. That's what they said to
That was
me.
what that was what I was told too. Yeah,
Oh,
we were in the same
tough
academy.
face for radio.
But you do have that, coming up next, retirement. Enjoy it while you can. I'm Chris Owen, and you're with me.
Completely different. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Ed,
I've been told I have that.
Ed, you need your own talk show, Ed.
What's that?
You need your own talk show.
Yeah, I mean, Ed, you're
Yeah, that's
great.
Like
That's
a real,
great
like
thing
you
got
need
going
to
on.
do something like the Rick Beato show.
Yeah, I got to get Rick Beato on this show. That's Sting. That's my next interview,
Yeah.
Sting. But Rick Beato
That'd be
first,
good.
if I can.
And yes, Chris Owen has a radio voice. And I just so you guys know, when I leave, I don't know if you remember, Ed, I go and watch in the big screen where the stereo speakers
I know.
are.
Yeah.
And actually I dance when I hear anything by Jethro Tull. There's like a fairy dance, that
Yeah.
you want to do. So
That's cool.
Yeah.
And I heard Nick Carter's song too when I went to the other room.
Oh, is that right?
So, yeah, I'm not like leaving the area when you guys are playing.
Yeah, we know the drill. Even the audience knows the drill. Like they're like, oh, there goes Heidi into the other room.
Well, turn the
I
camera
have
around. Come on.
huge- What's that?
Turn the camera around then. Come on.
Yeah, bring the camera with you. Like to the other
show
room.
needs
I'm on a little laptop, and then in the other room, I have it on YouTube on a giant TV.
Right.
Great.
It's cool. I'd love to
That's
like.
the way to do it.
It's,
I have
talk-
How is-
two screens here in front of me, the small ones.
How is the sound coming through in your house system on YouTube?
Oh, excellent. When I play
Yeah.
it on YouTube, it sounds really great. But what
Nice.
happens is I can't do the check-in to the show. I did it once, remember, Ed? I couldn't get in. And there was all this like feedback because I was in the same room.
Right.
Oh.
And the music room
That's the
was
way to do it.
a
So yeah,
closed room.
so you got to get a mirror. You got to be like, okay,
Oh my
see, like
God.
now you can see the studio that I'm in,
Oh my
right?
God, I'm
There's like this is my COVID studio. There's
No, I shouldn't have taken all of that hallucinogen stuff before the show. I can't believe it.
synthesizers everywhere,
It's
and
like I'm on Romper Room on acid. This is really weird.
that's right. So Chris Owen, what else you got in Dad Gad?
Okay. Well, this is Salamander. I don't know who would write a song about a salamander, but
I had a pet salamander when I was a kid in Austria because in Austria salamanders are in the pine forests of Austria. They're all these multicolored which sounds strange. We don't have them here, do we? We don't have them like in New England.
The part that sounds
salamanders.
strange is you had one as a pet.
Yeah, I had one as a pet. I also had a hedgehog. I had a baby hedgehog as a
Oh,
pet.
yeah. Everybody
Wow.
does. Hedgie.
You love my venom. Yeah, right, edgy. Yeah.
Here, Hedgie. Here, Hedgie.
Yeah, give me your hedgy.
Exactly.
he never wrote a song about a cat, which was interesting because
That
Ian
is true.
Anderson is very much a cat lover, and
Ah.
he supports several organizations that protects big cats.
Wow.
Not Blinker, but quite a bit.
Right.
larger than
Oh,
that.
he's big. Believe me, Blinker is a
Lions and
monster
tigers.
now.
Like Clive Davis or
So,
Looking for
big
it.
cats. Never mind.
All right, go for it, Chris Owen.
all right. Love the sound of this chord. It's a suspended chord, is what this is, just naturally, just the way it's tuned up. So. Salamander, born in a sun-kissed flame. Who was it lit your candle? Banded you with your name. I see you walking on my window in your kind of display. Salamander, salamander, salamander. Burn to me and I'll burn for you. Short, like a salamander. I mean, how much can you say about a salamander after all?
Wow, it's really cool.
Nice.
Yeah, can I say that this is a really interesting topic because when you said salamander, I know this is going to sound crazy, but the last time I discussed my whole thing with the surgeon, I said, why is this taking so long to heal itself?
Oh, your hand, yeah.
Yeah, I broke this arm and healed. And the answer I got was, well, kids heal like salamanders. And I've been thinking about that ever since. I actually had to look it up and do research on that, about how salamanders grow additional. I don't know if you know about.
Oh, yeah.
They get like regrow tails. And
if
stuff.
you pull on their tail a little too much, it pops off in your hand, and you're like, ah! And then it grows another tail, you know?
Yeah.
Ever since that, and every day I'm like praying for this thing to, heal like a salamander, So when you said you were going to sing a song called Salamander, I thought, oh, this is.
Well, you gotta. What he's saying is, you got to chop it off and see what happens. That's what he's talking about.
I got a bad idea about that. Yeah.
What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah.
I sometimes feel that way. Like I just want to start again and put new hand parts in. But.
Well, it is about regeneration. I mean, the song is really about about creation,
Right.
And the life force in a salamander.
It's cool.
Granted you with your name. What created you? I see you walking by my window here, and where did you come from?
Yeah, that's a great song.
There was something a little funny about, we were just talking about salamanders and how you grab their tail, it falls off. And it's just a conversation. And then somehow Ed takes it all the way to the 18th century. Like, fuck it, we're hacking it off. You know what I mean? Give him a shot and some morphine. Good luck. You know what I mean?
Drink some bourbon, and then bite on a piece of wood,
Exactly. It didn't need to be that dark. Like, we were already kind of thinking it.
Tie me off.
Ed just needed to expose what we were thinking. Like, we really needed to say it. It was instrumental.
I swear to God, you talk about taking the show off a cliff, but I once had to have a surgery done on my eye, like an emergency surgery, right? And so they send me over to the surgeon's office, and she had just been horseback riding. So she shows up at the office in her jodhpurs and her riding boots with a riding crop or whatever. I swear to you. And she comes into the thing, and she's like, there's nobody there. It's 10 o'clock at night or whatever. There's nobody there. And she goes, all right, well, here I am, and I was just riding my horse at my giant palatial house and whatever, and here I am. And she comes in, and she goes, all right, we're going to try to give you some anesthesia, but it might not work. So she gives me the anesthesia. I'm like, it hurts like hell, right? And she's like, oh, we got to do this surgery. We got to do this surgery. And I'm like, okay, it's not working. And she goes, okay, here's a piece of wood. You need to bite on this.
Yeah. She actually did that?
Yes. and if it's too bad, then you need to like don't punch me. She said, "Don't punch me. Your instinct would be to hit me." She said, "If it's too bad, just like tap my leg if you can." And I'm like, "No, wait a minute. The anesthesia's not working." She's like, "Bite on this piece of wood." I'm like, "It's like a freaking Clint Eastwood movie, you know?"
Yes. Were you in the Czech Republic? What the hell?
I was in the Connecticut equivalent called Norwalk, Connecticut.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
I've had that too.
I have such a high opinion of. I would think it would be a pretty good medical facility. No.
She had me bite on a piece of wood. It was like it had to happen. It was happening like right away. It was really bad.
Where the hell was the anesthesiologist?
They were like riding the horse.
They were
out
riding too. They couldn't stop from the rodeo. They were too busy.
They want you not. They want you awake on eye stuff. I've had the needle in the eye thing without anesthesia.
The needle in the eye thing.
I'm going to throw
without
up in a
anesthesia, and the guy says, "Don't move, otherwise it might go into your ocular nerve, and then you'll lose your sight in that eye."
Oh my God! Yeah, right. Exactly. I was like, what now? Like, wait, give it another shot or whatever.
You want to put a pair of vice grips to my private parts too while we're at this, and, you know.
I was worried. I was worried having surgery in Texas. I thought, I don't know if I trust them here, but I went to Baylor, and the minute they took me in to do this surgery, it was like, you're going to be gone in about a minute or so, and you won't remember that I'm having this conversation with you, and the next day I'm awake and recovering. Thank God.
Because I listen. I remember Heidi when you first fell. Did I fall first or did you fall first? Who fell first?
You had the one that you did the wipeout on.
So I wiped out, and then you made some comment on Facebook like, "You better watch your step, or you're going to fall down the stairs and break your arm." Right?
That wasn't me.
Oh yeah, no. Somebody wrote me a thing like, "Oh, you better watch your step next time," you know, because I bounced down the stairs on the ice and broke my arm, right? And so, and then you fell and broke your hand, way worse. And Heidi was sending me pictures, not to get graphic, but she's like, "Oh, you ain't seen nothing. Wait till you see this." And it was like,
posted a few, Heidi. And I first off, I remember just seeing the ice. You posted the ice. I'm like, that's Texas? Jesus.
No, she sent me pictures. It looked like an accordion. It was that gruesome.
Wrist.
Oh, I've the
angulated.
Oh no, Ed said, "Oh, I'm not squeamish. Don't worry." The incision that was in.
I passed out. I swear to God.
I can't. I can handle anything. I mean, I can really handle anything. I was an EMS supervisor for 11 years for Darien, right? I've seen stuff you can't imagine, but. All it takes is a little girl who says, "I think I've got something in my eye, like an eyelash," and I'm like, "I'm going to throw up. You guys have to deal with this. I can't deal with this." You know, eyes really freak me out. It's like amputations, fractured, deformity. Okay, I can handle it, but eyes, no.
Well,
I got an eyelash. That's it.
What about contact lenses? Some people think that by contact.
I could never do it. No.
Yeah.
What?
Sorry.
You can't do what, Randy?
The contacts. I can stick a needle in my arm and I can hit a vein, but I cannot do contact.
When I was in college,
I'm straight up serious.
When I was in college, I used to wear contact lenses, and I had a mishap, and the contact lens slid off the iris underneath this layer of epidermis that covers the white hair, and it was like half in, and I looked and I said, "Holy shit! It's scary as hell, but it doesn't hurt at all."
Yeah.
And I went to see the doctor right away, and he said, "It didn't hurt going in, but he said it's going to be a treat for you coming out. Sit still." And anyway, it all worked out. But I mean, oh my God!
Was he wearing jodhpurs and a riding crop? I mean, like,
did he smell like manure?
Or was he doing root canals in Bridgeport and he said "oops" in the middle of it?
I'm like, aren't you gonna?
I sell live bait on the side.
Pretty. It was a momentous moment. I'll tell you that. But
I had them stuck up here all the time, and I used to just open my eye, look up, and then they'd be up there and pull them down. I wore them forever, but now that I'm older, I have to wear distance glasses and nothing for a close up because it's weird. My distance got better, and I've never needed reading glasses, even though I'm so much older.
Wow, you're lucky.
I'm not bad for distance now, but I need these down here to read.
Yeah.
I can't wear them because I have perfect close up. So now I have to stop wearing contacts because with the contacts on, I can't see close up.
And Chris Owen, I just have to tell you, Chris Owen, that is our reaction to your song.
That you know, chicks really dig that
kind of song. What did Will just say? Chick what? I heard you.
Hey, Chris, do you have one more song in Dadgad?
I don't. Not right now.
You don't? No.
Nothing I could play with any confidence. No.
Oh, my God. What about you? What are you, a harmonica guy? What do you got? Anything, Gabriel?
I do, actually. I got this actually in Hocking Hills.
God, that thing's huge.
What is that?
It's like twice the high size of your head.
What is that thing?
It is,
dragging the
actually.
piano around.
It's close to the length of my hand.
So many jokes, so little time.
It's like Paul Bunyan's. That
Randy, I'm
you get
younger
that from
than
Paul
you.
Bunyan?
And I'm not making the jokes. Come on, man.
You know, the night wouldn't be the same without Randy here. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, that's true.
So many
we'll
jokes,
let
so
you-
little time. I love that.
Mr. Rick.
Yeah. So, besides us
Thank you,
talking
Randy.
about
Randy
my phallus,
Rickles.
apparently, we were in
We're
Hocking
going
Hills,
downhill fast.
Excuse me?
Downhill.
and I'm with my girlfriend, and I'm just sitting on my phone. You know, we're heading back. We just went on a hike. It was beautiful, so I'm just sitting on my phone doing like nothing. And then I feel the car go, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? And my girlfriend says, Dax, that is, says, I just saw a huge sign for harmonicas. And I'm like, okay. So we pull into this music store. Turns out they had a few pretty good-looking collectors, including this. This is I believe it's a Marine Band 365, which essentially means it's like that. So this is the low end that this guy doesn't have, and then the high end is essentially the same.
Oh, okay.
That's cool.
Cool.
That
Let's
is
hear
cool.
something.
By the way, that
Very cool.
girlfriend of yours?
Yeah, right? Yeah, that's when I knew, like, I gotta go looking for rings, man. Like, seriously.
Yeah,
Listen to
that's right.
Randy.
Yeah, you
Listen
want
to
her.
Randy.
So you know how to play that thing?
Sort of.
All right, let's hear it.
So my face is gonna look strange because it's very quiet. Because it takes so much breath to move these reeds. If you see these reeds, they are incredibly long.
It's an accordion.
Randy.
That's right.
It's like that's right. It's the harmonica, the harmonium.
Oh, God.
So I'm gonna see what I can do. I'm gonna interchange between the standard, 10-hole and this 12-hole giant and just play some.
Sounds dirty when you say it. That's all I'm saying.
I'm going to check out, so I'll see you guys next time.
All right.
Take care,
Be
Chris.
safe, Chris.
Bye, Chris.
Yeah, I want to hear
Nice
one
job.
harmonica
Yeah,
song,
man.
then I'm going to go. But I want to hear you.
Okay.
I'm
I
gonna
should
have to-
add. I am going to be recording an EP sometime this year. It should probably be out sometime, like at the latest. It should be out in September. So you can look on my Where's my Instagram? My Instagram for updates on that and whatnot.
Oh, cool.
Nice. Cool.
This will not be on it. So this is just for y'all. And now I can actually breathe. Holly, be quiet. So that's that.
The dog is the best part. Oh my God.
That was great.
So much man.
Nice work.
That was the best I've ever
First
heard
off,
you
that
do.
thing sounds great, and
Yeah,
you
it really
make it
does.
sound great. That's a really, I love the sound of that thing.
Yeah,
Nice-
the tone of
nice
it is
sound.
really good. It's got this good rough kind of.
Yeah.
That's the best
That's
thing
a
I've
good
heard you
ballsy.
ever heard you do.
Yeah.
Harmonica guy, what is your name?
That's Gabriel Ryan.
Gabriel Ryan.
I'm sorry, I don't remember. And I recognize you the minute you got on. I said, oh, I remember. Gabriel, that's really nice work, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Thank
really
you.
is
I've
cool.
actually been practicing, which is
Well,
strange.
I've actually
The
been.
last couple times I've been here, I have not been sharp at all.
What's
but I've
next?
actually
Tuning?
practiced.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, I gotta
What'd you say?
hop. Ed, thank you so much, everybody. Great to see you all.
Nick Carter, great to
night.
see you.
Great
Well,
night.
see ya.
Thanks.
Bye, Nick.
Nick Carter.
Randy,
No.
I missed what you said.
Oh, I think I'd said some smarmy thing like, what's next? Tuning?
Tuning, exactly.
You've been practicing. Next thing you know, the kid's going to be tuning.
I do tune my harmonicas.
With like a nail file and a soldering gun, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Well, I have to go get a metal engraver because I used to use jeweler files. It takes so long.
Oh,
It's
I
the
bet.
worst. I mean, have you tuned your accordion?
I have never. That's where I draw the line. I've done all kinds of repairs, but
Damn.
I will not try to tune them. That's like too crazy.
Because you have to tune it the same way, don't you?
Yeah, you have to. It's the same. It's a harmonica on the inside, exactly.
Yeah,
Oh my
it's
God.
impossible. But I do it because I'm broke and I don't have $45 to just throw around for another one, unfortunately.
There you go.
That
Thank you
sounded
for letting
really
me play,
cool.
Ed. I'm going to stick around a little bit longer and listen to whatever anyone else has.
Yeah, that's cool. We're just sort of shooting the breeze, you know, like hanging out, shooting the breeze. I tried to load up that video that Randy sent me of the girls, and I can't load it for some reason. It won't come off YouTube, so
It's a YouTube link. Want me to send you another one?
they won't yet. For some reason, the system that I use to extract things off YouTube is not happy tonight. I don't know what's going on. So
All right. Well, I could WeTransfer you something quick if you want.
there you go. Do that.
Okay.
Do
See,
that.
This is where I feel like a failure to my generation because I should be able to explain to you what it is that you should do, but I don't know.
Yeah, come on. What are you, Gen Z? You got to be able to help us
I'm
boomers
not.
figure out.
That's right.
I'm about to be 26 years old. I am not Gen Z. I remember 9/11. I bought.
What
a
are
real
you
estate-
even? 26? Were you born in?
All right. So you're my.
Were
boys
you
are-
born this century? Like we're 26? Like
No, but all right. I didn't know your age. My boys are 27 and 30, and they are definitely millennials.
Yeah, like early, like late millennials, but like
I know.
not like.
Yeah, it's like me. I'm the very tail end of the boomers. Yeah.
no, you know what? My generation got ripped off because you had the baby boomers. That's like a major thing, right? And millennials is like a major thing. I'm a millennial, and I'm a Gen X. Like screw that.
Gen X.
Gen X,
Jen, it's
Sounds
like
like a
nobody
hot
knows
tub.
what you are.
right?
But you're
Gen
the-
X.
You didn't
You're the
really
least
change anything.
annoying.
Let's go. Slip
Right.
into
Yeah,
the
you
Gen
just-
It
X.
sounds like a vitamin or something. Like, oh, I take Gen X for my
But it's-
prostate.
But it's one of the
Sounds like a
but
hot
it doesn't
tub.
work very well. Yeah.
All right,
My
let me go
God.
find the file.
I'm going to play. So, Gabriel, I don't know if you've seen this video. I played it a couple weeks ago. I want to play Heidi. This is a video that we did, a collaborative video, but I want you to see this because you'll appreciate the level of work that went into this video while Randy's sending me something else. Check this out.
Tell me how can you get through? We can't remember who you're talking to. Concentration just slips away. 'Cause your baby is so far away. Well, there's a rose in a Fifth Street glove. The evening light
Good one.
I love that one.
Garcia.
I love that one.
That was awesome.
Great. Yeah, that
Pretty
was
good,
really
right?
Good.
Randy,
Hell
can you
yeah.
send me that link? Do you have me on Facebook?
What link?
Do you have a link to that?
No, that's me. That's we're waiting for Randy. That was Mike Baumwall put that together. Unfortunately, Mike passed away last year, but
I have it. I have it on my Last Minute Productions Dropbox thing. That I lost my train of thought. What the heck was I going to say? Oh, just so you know that's the Diana Ross and the Supremes version.
I was going to ask.
And at first,
with the Four Tops, right?
Was it Four Tops?
I think
Isley Brothers. Yeah, Four Tops, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Because I'm doing those male voices too. That was really complicated, but
you're doing it.
Time consuming.
Yeah, you're killing on that. You're killing on that. It's great.
Yeah,
that's a lot of
vocal. You
but
move with
when Mike said to me, "We're going to do a version of that song," and it wasn't the original, like Crosby, Stills, Nash, I was like, "Ew, what? No way!" And I listened to it, and I was like, "No, this is sacrilege. I don't want to do this." You know, I'm like a purist to the old stuff, right? And then I got into it. I listened, I played it, and I was like, "Wow, this is really different." So it's interesting when you hear the one that they did, and it was not Diana Ross, it was the other one, the other singer of the Supremes, who's doing the lead in the original in this version. And it's interesting when you listen to the two of them that we really tried to come close to what they did, which was so different from the original.
Yeah, it really is. Really, and that's 11 videos all put together, correct, Ed?
Oh, plus it's more than that. No, there's a lot of horns and there's a lot. Oh, it's like a lot of stuff.
Mine alone were like 12.
Right.
Oh my God.
I did like 9 vocals because I did the male voices.
Yeah.
I have it on LMP. I used to tell Mike, send me the isolated vocals. And it was so weird when I listened to it last night. I actually had it on last night. It sounded like, it was so strange sounding because it wasn't like very masculine sounding. It's my voice down here, like, down there, and it sounded like something in like I can't think of the record, but there's a Prince record where there's like 10 harmony. It might have been a section from When Doves Cry, and you hear the male harmonies on there. They don't sound like a deep man's voice, if you know what I mean. I should do the isolated vocals because I can't sing like a man completely. But
I don't mean to cut in. I'm just having trouble hearing you, so I can't tell when you're done. Because my speakers are old. But if you could please send me that, I'd really appreciate it. I don't know. Do you have Instagram?
I'll send it to you again.
Please.
Yeah, cool.
Something about that song when men sing it. Don't get me wrong, I like it. But it sounds like kind of swarmy. That's why I like it. I think it's like, whatever. We're pigs. Let's embrace it a little bit. There's something about a woman singing that just sounds playful and happy and a little bit less swarmy. It's like it's not the way I think of that song when I can't remember who the hell wrote it. Frankly, I haven't heard much of the original. I mostly heard Ray Simonelli and
we always did it at the jams, you know.
Yeah, but this just totally just sounded.
Who wrote that? Did Stephen Stills write that? Is that his song?
Yeah, Stephen Stills.
Probably, yeah.
It was Stephen Stills.
Yeah.
Now, I'll tell you what. I was listening to a music reviewer, Todd in the Shadows, and he did a top 10 songs about mediocre romance. And I thought to myself, if Love the One You With isn't on this,
that's a good point. Yeah.
I'm going to lose my mind.
Yeah.
And it was, thank God. I didn't have to hunt this guy down and ruin his life.
What else? Like the cars you're all I've got tonight, and
Pardon?
The cars you're all I've got
tonight. Yeah.
no, he's too young. He doesn't know what the cars is.
Oh, that's right.
I know what the cars are.
He doesn't know who that is.
It's like 1982.
The cars were like
originating in Boston, Massachusetts.
Wish I could shimmy like my sister Kate. Was that? No.
He doesn't even know who Britney Spears is. That's oldies for him.
Britney Spears was a young.
I'm gonna be 30 in 4 years. I'm not that young anymore, Ed. I know when you see me, you think I'm still 18, or I'm still I just turned 21 and now I'm blacked out, or what the fuck ever. I'm a little older now, Ed. Okay.
By the time Gabriel turns 30,
forever. Absorb it. It's great. It's cool.
Yeah.
Oh my God! So there was this band, Gabriel. It was called Led Zeppelin, which is funny because like a Zeppelin is like a Hindenburg, but if it's lead, then it's heavy and it couldn't fly. That's what makes it funny, you know.
This is
harmonica guy, were you able to hear me when I said that we were doing the Supremes version?
Yes.
And
Yes.
you know who the Supremes are, right?
Yes, Diana
Okay.
Ross and the Supremes. I did
Yeah.
not know the Supremes ever did a version of that.
Okay, no, I'm not. I wasn't joking. No, for
No,
real.
you're on. You're right, Heidi. You're right.
But it's not even Diana Ross. It's the other singer of the Supremes who did it, and I can't remember her
the
name.
other one from
Really?
the Supremes.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
if you're on Instagram, I can send you that one because we
Please.
really tried to match it,
I'm-
and I'll send you ours.
It's right
Did you
there.
also do the Britney Spears
Same
version
name?
of it too, or
The
just
Britney Spears version, yeah, the
that was
Ariana
Britney
Grande version
Yeah,
of it.
that's right.
The
Ariana
name I
Grande
use,
could do
the
it.
name
Britney
I use,
couldn't.
the name I use on Instagram is what David Fogelman called me for years in our old band. He just jokes around every time he sees me. I'm Heidi G, Heidi G, Heidi G and the G-tones.
Oh, I was wondering about that. I saw that on your Facebook. Like, what the hell is this?
They
I
all call me
thought you
that.
maybe had to reestablish a new identity.
No, for the longest time, I did have a different identity when I was teaching, but now that I'm retired, I use my regular name. But
There you go.
on Instagram, I'm Heidi G and the G-tones, which is what everybody used to call me, and the
All right.
Mother Moses people, Kathy Fogelman, David Fogelman. Well, yeah. So that's why I'll send you the or anybody can send it to you. I guess if you have.
Yeah, I'll send you a link to all that stuff.
Please do.
All right,
Heidi,
I'm going to show you the one now by Led Zeppelin. That's Led Zeppelin, and I'll send that. I'll send that to you.
band in the '60s.
Didn't they have that one album, Black Sabbath? I'm
That's
young,
the
I
one.
don't know.
Exactly.
Black Sabbath Soul.
Hey lady, got the love I need. Maybe more than enough. Oh darling, darling, walk a while with me. Oh, you got so much, so much, so much. Many times been bitten, many times I've gazed along the open road. Many
There it is.
Heidi. Wow.
And Dan.
That was great.
That was awesome.
You
Yeah, it
killed
was a
that.
pretty good
That's
one.
cool.
Absolutely killed that.
There's something about the way all of you are playing, and I know you're not like literally sitting next to each other.
Yeah.
But you know how like when you're having a good conversation with somebody,
Mm-hmm.
and you're like, I already know that we're gonna get along really well.
Right.
There's
Yeah.
something about the way you're playing that feels like that feeling.
It does. It feels like they're in the same room.
Right.
It's true.
I love
Yeah.
the singing. That's yes.
It's the
Heidi, that was
closest we could come. We were really locked down back then. Like, we were
Yeah.
locked down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nobody went anywhere back then.
I
Wow.
missed it.
Yeah, good.
And I really like the way you got. You really ought to know. That's
Yeah, you
cool.
sang that well. That's a hard. I mean, that's a really. I cannot imagine singing that. I used to sing primarily. I confused the hell out of Ed the first year of the show because I wasn't singing anymore. And he was like, "Here's Will's going to sing. I mean, he's going to play." But that's a really hard song to sing, and you interpret
God,
it really
it's
well.
gotta be. Yeah.
Ed, I should send you one of these days some of the videos of me singing. I do Led Zeppelin stuff with my old band. Like I have a whole lot of love on
I'd
there.
love to see that
Oh my
stuff.
God, that'd be a blast. Yeah.
That'd be
Heidi,
cool.
this might be a little bit controversial, but that song specifically, maybe not every Zeppelin song, but that song specifically, I think I might like your voice on it more than Robert Plant's.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Honestly, one of my issues with that song for a long time was the way Plant sings it. He just sounds like he's struggling the whole time. Even when he hits the note right, it's like, all right, man, like you sound like it sounds too much like you're trying to like push out a fart.
Yeah.
And not enough like he's singing. You do it like with ease. Like it's
Yeah,
like
Well,
it's
that's a
so
really good
natural,
point. I
fluid.
agree with you.
Yeah.
That's a
Well,
really good point.
you know that Robert Plant, though, as a man singing in that register was a like an incredible thing. And what I didn't realize, though, is that very short time after that, he could no longer do any of those songs. If you listen, when I was getting ready to do this song, because it's one of my all-time favorite Led Zeppelin songs, I went and listened to live versions to just figure out what I was going to do with Mike and the rest of the guys. And he was singing it like instead of being there in that one octave higher, he was doing everything one octave lower. And a lot of these live shows that he did shortly after recording that album, he could no longer do that. And I was like, wow, that's so sad when you sing something in that register and then you can't do it anymore. Like,
Well, if I may, to your point, I saw that band. It was Valentine's Day, 1975, Nassau Coliseum, and they came out 2 hours late because I guess there were no insurance and lawyers and union rules. Like, you come out a half hour late, it's $500,000 an hour, and you better be, So they sauntered out at 9 o'clock, and Plant announced that they had just gotten up. They had been up all night and all day, and this was 9 in the morning to them. And the band was on it. They were great, but Plant had no voice. They're on the web. There's a soundboard recording of the show I saw, and it's like, they finished with Stairway, and and as we wind on down the road, our shadows taller than a soul. Like, okay, all right.
that's sad. That's got to be sad. You have to end up, he went down an octave on everything.
Yeah, but that was 75 when the band was still at its heights. That was self.
Well, yeah, no, I realized that.
I was cheated.
know. And
Let
I
me tell you
heard something in an interview about that, how like very shortly after these albums were recorded, he was no longer able to do them in the original registers. That's like crazy.
I mean, if you don't have a vocal coach and you're smoking cigarettes, like
Doesn't help.
it happens. as
and
bad
you're
as it
singing
sounds.
out of your
I knew a
range
reggae singer that I loved in high school. He only maybe 4 or 5 years ago was able to hit anything even remotely like anything they used to record because he was smoking and he wasn't taking care of himself.
And
And
you sound like Tom Waits.
yeah, exactly. Like maybe not that bad, but like
I like Tom
Great.
Waits' voice. I think it's very evocative.
Provocative?
I will say
Yeah.
evocative. Oh, Tom Waits' voice?
Okay.
Well, I was ironically the doctor who told me that it would probably be best for me to stop singing was named Dr. Song. He's the chief of
Will,
Farring,
what a
whatever.
great line you have when people are like, why aren't you singing anymore?
Yeah.
Doctor's orders.
Yeah.
Yeah, Doctor
Exactly.
Song.
The doctor said.
It sounds like a Muppet. Was he a Muppet?
I wish he was
he in the
this
Muppet
guy-
Show band,
He was
Doctor
the
Song?
most evasive doctor I've ever known. You know, the
bet,
best doctors are the worst communicators. That's if somebody's a horrible communicator, you know that okay, she's going to be awesome. You know, even though she's like you know that she must be good. You know, and if he's like he was really nice, got a great bedside manner, he's going to kill me because he's really nice. That
That's
means
right.
he's not
Yeah,
a good
right,
doctor.
yeah.
This guy, I asked him. The last question I asked him before I gave up on him was, is there anything that I should avoid that would make it worse? And he said, "Oh no, it only gets worse, with the use and age."
Bye. Right.
So you're
Have a
telling
nice
me
day.
to shut up and die? Is that what you're telling me to
That'll
do?
be $400. Have a nice day.
Yeah, exactly. And I had another patient. Goodbye. Never went back to him.
Yeah,
So,
no shit.
You
Yeah.
watch, I'll wind up start singing next
Yeah,
year
dude,
again.
I
out
can
of
feel
nowhere,
like
you
shit
know.
for free. I don't need to pay you.
Yeah, exactly.
When I was flying airplanes around, my doctor, you have to have an aviation doctor, an FAA doctor to give you a medical or to fly. And
Wow.
his name was Dr. Drac Newsom.
Newsom. Wow.
Drac
that's
Newsom. I was like, he had a cape, like,
Yeah.
Dr. Drac Newsom. You know, like,
Hey,
he Romanian?
You're boss.
Yes, I have plans for you, Mr. Train.
Dr. Drac Newsom.
I have cleared you to fly.
That's
from
right.
now.
my God.
First, we will perform an extraction.
From an extraction from my wallet was more
That's
like
right.
it.
Yeah,
You know?
that's
This
right.
is
you
called
got
a
that.
cashectomy. Yes.
All right, I got one more. Heidi's on backup vocals on this song. I just want to do one more, and then we're going to call it a night. But check it out. Check it out.
Before we go, I have a quick question for.
We're not going anywhere quite yet, but what? What do you got?
Okay, well, I listen to your guitar when you're playing, and like your sound system, whatever you're doing there is amazing. Besides your playing, but what are you using that you sound like your guitar is so clear compared to when I hear other people play? Like your setup is just like magical.
Oh, Will. He's talking about Will,
I was
right?
going to say,
Will,
you're talking to me?
yeah.
Well, thank you, Heidi. I really appreciate that. I've
He
put a lot of
tweaked
effort
it and tweaked it and tweaked it and
Yeah.
tweaked it and
And
tweaked
there's
it.
no,
Yeah.
it doesn't cut out. It's
So-
No,
like
you're right.
clear.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And
Yeah, I
I was
put-
watching you guys last week, and I wanted to ask you, but I'm gonna have to find out more.
He's got the lighting. I mean, look at that microphone. That's worth more than my car, okay?
Because I would play, like I have all my keyboards here, and say I would do something, but I will never do something unless I know that the quality is going to come through. Like we'll bear the quality.
It's a lot, yep.
This is what the camera, like the expensive camera, puts out compared to what you just saw. I'm now Donald Trump complexion, so I don't have all of it right. It's still kind of like it's actually gotten into some strange bumpy karma. But thank you. That's what a wonderful compliment. Thanks, Heidi.
And by the way, the filter, I didn't have a filter on. I look 20 years younger in that Supremes video. Don't ask me why. I did this. I'm not kidding you. I had no filter, and every time I look at that, I even said to my husband, "Why do I look so young there? It's pre-accident."
Oh, there you
That's
go.
right. Yeah,
That's it.
You
look
paid
good.
for it. You paid
It was
a
nice
price for that
video
beauty.
with no filter. But anyway.
All right, I got to play this one more video. I have to. I haven't played this in a long time. This is a great one. Check it out.
You see, you've been getting on so good, so proper for so long. No, you never hurt me. No, you never gone and done me wrong. I know that something ain't just no good, but you always do exactly what you should. So tell me, how do I let a good man down? How do I let a good man down?
There it is.
It's fucking killer.
Great.
Kill
stuff.
it. We really had fun doing that stuff. It was really fun.
It's amazing. All of the women of the jam circle in Fairfield County know how to. They have these great voices, but they know how to move like naturally when they're singing. There's nothing, contrived about how you're moving in these songs, and it's really cool to watch.
Not all girls do. And we look like apes.
I mean,
all girls know how to groove.
I mean, without sounding like pigs, as Gabriel said earlier, you take a band of guys and have them play a song, and then take you and have you sing in front of them and play the song, and they're going to kick ass on the second version, and the first version is going to be lame.
Yeah, you're right, man.
That is what the women of Jam TV are all about.
Maybe it's our egos, Will.
That's right.
Maybe it's all of our egos, like just getting in the way of the music.
Yeah, I got one comment for you, Will Baird.
Oh, come on.
One must not respond unless they oink louder. Yeah.
Oh my God! And on that cheery note, I will see you all soon. That was show 95 on Jam TV. Great to see you guys. I'm so happy you could make it, and I'll see you next week or soon or sometime. Have a good one. I'm gonna bring on my good friend Steve Wexler.